from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, a symposium on HIV AIDS is to be held in Kampala from November 8th to the 10th this year. Now, the conference is aimed at engaging the affected, infected and experts on the current HIV AIDS status in the country. Uganda AIDS Commission announced the symposium at a press briefing held at the Uganda Media Center here in Kampala. We have more in the following story. We apologize, but that story is still being worked on and we'll get it to you when it is ready. Now, Uganda Certificate of Education candidates are continuing with their ordinary examinations. On day two of the candidates, the candidates wrote the chemistry and music final exams, as you get it in this report.
The situation is okay. It is cold. And also the weather is good. All has been under the control of God.
Senior 4 candidates have on day 2 of their Uganda Certificate of Education examinations written their chemistry and music exams. The heads of the schools visited affirmed that they have not faced any challenges.
Of the UCE exams that began yesterday, we have not had any major challenges. Usually, sometimes the first day has challenges because the invigilators are new and given the number of our students, sometimes they underestimate the numbers. So, yes, we had a few hiccups yesterday, but we are blessed that the weather was good because many of our students are day scholars.
Fees payment has been limping, and because of that, many of our learners have not paid school fees. It has been a problem because we also have problems with the loans and here and there, so it has not been easy. But
the head teachers disclosed that regardless of COVID-19 stampede and other challenges, the validly registered students have turned up. They encourage students sitting and those that are yet to sit their exams to maintain discipline while doing exams.
To students, wherever you are, please try to be disciplined. Try to be hardworking. Try to ensure academic excellence.
We are glad that parents have been in contact with us. We have tried to engage them, and of course they are there, those who have managed to sit with some balances, but we have agreed with the parents that they will clear the balances with time.
Students we talked to at Amuka Classic School and Kolo SS believe that they are going to pass and make their schools proud.
The papers have really been so good, all the way from mathematics, and when you talk about the first paper we had, it was really so thrilling and like so motivating that these papers are not going to be really bad.
What we have done today has not been so hard like many of us were thinking. It has actually been fair.
Our students that are inside here read very hard because these exams are good for people who have prepared themselves.
Jane Nyiramcha, UBC News.
Now, the Minister of Education and Sports has embarked on the campaign to revamp traditional schools across the country. All students of these schools are being asked to also participate in rehabilitating their alma mater where possible.
This is Bonaventure Mulaje Primary School in Bamunani, Luwero District, established by the Catholic Church over 100 years ago. The school is among the 20 traditional schools in Mulaje Parish, Kasana Luwero Diocese. The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, an old pupil, visited the school and promised to support its renovation and also promised government commitment to revamp traditional schools. The parish priest of Mulaje Parish, Reverend Father Dr. Gerard Wamala, pledged to support the renovation of the school.
To be renovated, and we are glad with the Honorable Minister, Dr. Jesse Muyingo, who is a pupil here and now is taking the lead to renovate this main block. And so they are going to remove the roof and also raise the walls and also make it more accessible for our children and for those who are physically challenged, and also repaint it and also do more facelifting so that it looks a better building.
Father Wamala encouraged all students to participate in programs aimed at developing their former schools and said the Bonaventure Mulaje Primary School has nurtured many Ugandans. The personal assistant to Minister Muyingo in Bamunanika Abdul Karim Waswa promised the minister's commitment of 400 million shillings towards the renovation of his former primary school.
Okujja okubalirira ne ba engineers okubalirira essomero lino kiki lyetaagisa agenda kukwata mu nsawo ye aliddaabirize ekitibwa kyamula kisobole okuvaayo kubanga Honorable Dr. Jesse Muyingo yasomerako wano mwana wa kigo kino kye kimutwala.
Sudat Kaye, Fred Kasibante, UBC News.
Now to matters pertaining to Ebola, and Ministry of Health says they will not close down schools in Mubende district due to Ebola outbreak. Minister for Health Jen Ruth Acheng was leading members of the Strategic Committee of the Ministry of Health and Development partners, including UNICEF, the World Health Organization and Center for Disease Control, to Mubende and Kasanda districts to assess the Ebola response.
To add my voice on.
The districts of Mubende and Kasanda are under lockdown announced by the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to contain the Ebola virus. Minister for Health Dr. Jen Ruth Acheng led members of the Strategic Committee of the Ministry of Health and Development partners like UNICEF, World Health Organization and Center for Disease Control to Mubende and Kasanda districts to assess the Ebola response efforts.
Because these leaders of yours here, RDC and the entire team, have been teaching you about Ebola. And you know about Ebola. But you have challenges. So we are going to listen to you. And then everyone will stand up and respond to your questions. Even the partners.
During their engagement with the community, teachers suggested that schools be closed after an Ebola case was reported in a primary school. However, Minister Acheng objected on grounds that the school calendar is for promoting learners and the current Ebola situation does not warrant a closure of schools in the district.
Possible, the way we are looking at it, we leave candidate class to accomplish their exams. If the President can allow these other classes to little bit go home so that we manage this challenge without a lot of challenges. Because when parents hear that in a certain school there was a child who is proposed, maybe the allegation is that that child had Ebola, it's more or less you find that parents are no longer sending their children to that particular school. So
if you ask for drastic measures, and then next year, where will you be? Again, you will have 3 classes to handle. It is not nice. This epidemic needs cooperation, it needs understanding one another. And it is a sacrifice. It is a sacrifice. When you are making a sacrifice, you forego all the good things and the comfort. And you say for a short time, and then we can go back.
Ministry of Health is monitoring schools and temperature guns will be employed and washing facilities installed in all schools of the affected districts.
And the children here don't sit their end of year. We are doing end of year. Then they will not be promoted and they will be left behind. Other parts of the country are moving forward. That is why we are working with partners, supporters. Let us have wash in the schools. Let us have temperature guns. Can the teachers report? Can the parents report? Because we cannot afford to lose a generation. These are your children.
Police has also advised people to respect the presidential directives on lockdown.
But the truth is, if you are used to drinking from 7 upwards in a bar, for the next 21 days you can drink mururuza, or something like that in home until after 21 days. So what I'm saying is that also tell your people not to make it difficult for us to operate.
The communities will report any suspected cases of Ebola to authorities for a quick response.
Obubonero bwe tulaga abantu nga bavaamu omusaayi n'omubuuzaabuuzizza.
To Fort Portal now, where Fort Portal Referral Hospital Isolation Ward is currently free without any Ebola patient after discharging the 5 who were from Mubende district. The hospital is monitoring one suspected case of a 56-year-old man who was admitted.
Health workers at Fort Portal Referral Hospital are now in a relaxed mood after all the Ebola patients were transferred to Entebbe Hospital, where they were later discharged from.
We got an instruction from the ministry that they should be transported to Entebbe. So they were transported to Entebbe, and they were finally discharged. The 5 who were here were finally discharged from Entebbe after being in Entebbe for like 2 days. So,
Referral Hospital Administrator Michael Odua says, after a month of treating Ebola patients from Mubende Referral Hospital, the Ebola treatment unit is finally full.
As I speak, we don't have any confirmed case in the hospital. Our Ebola management unit is yet empty. We don't have any case there. However, in the isolation unit, we have one suspected case. Is a man of 56 years who reported yesterday.
However, Ebola prevention measures continue in hospitals, schools and other public places until the Ministry of Health declares an Ebola-free situation.
They need to take care of themselves. Ebola is still with us. We don't encourage crowding in the hospital. We only want the patients in the ward to have one attendant if they must be there at all. But we don't encourage so many people to visit the hospital.
In Fort Portal City, Ebola task forces continue with mass sensitization and demonstration of proper hand washing among members of the public to avoid Ebola various disease infection.
The hands of a healthcare worker are supposed to be healing hands. But when they are not properly washed, when they are not clean, they carry germs that instead of healing can transmit diseases.
The situation is not any different in Bunyagabu district, according to the area RDC.
When you go in all our sub-counties at sub-county level, everybody is now aware, more especially the members of the committee.
Fort Portal Referral Hospital is now waiting for samples of one suspected case that was recently admitted.
So you have to make sure yourself before you go in.
Now, Deputy Inspector General of Police Tumsime Katsigazi has pitched camp in Mubende and Kasanda districts to monitor enforcement of the presidential directives against the Ebola pandemic. Tumsime met with the Mubende District Task Force and the Security Committee to pave a way forward in the fight against the pandemic. The 2 days of enforcing the lockdown in the 2 districts have been successful, although with some challenges that the police force is currently addressing.
Motorcyclists, first of all, some of them are indisciplined, some of them don't want to follow the rules, the directives. But we are telling them, you are not supposed to ride borders in these districts, full stop. Anybody who does that, his border will be impounded. We have released some of them on compassionate ground, but from now on, we are going to be very strict. We arrest and take them for trial in court. The security officers must behave. While carrying out this responsibility, they must work well with the population. They should not antagonize the population. They should not harass the population, but advise them. And where the people, some culprits, misbehave, they'll be arrested and taken formally to court without harassment.
Now let's go back to that story that we had earlier on introduced, where a symposium on HIV AIDS is to be held in Kampala from November 8th to the 10th. The conference aims at engaging the affected, infected and experts on the current HIV AIDS status in the country. Uganda AIDS Commission announced the symposium at a press briefing that was held at the Media Center here in Kampala.
The three-day high-level engagement on HIV AIDS to be held in Kampala early next month is expected to attract policymakers and researchers in the fight against HIV pandemic. Unlike in the past, where it was a boardroom dialogue, the public will have opportunity to participate.
This concept is trying to bring science closer to the community. And we've also merged several activities together: the annual Joint AIDS Review, the scientific conference, the File Lutaya Memorial, and we shall also have an HIV financing dialogue, in addition to various exhibitions and entertainment from the artists.
The symposium on the theme, Ending Inequalities Amongst Adolescent Girls, Young Women and Boys, starts November 8th to 10th at Makerere University Business School grounds.
And we selected this theme because, one, it is in line with the global AIDS, UN AIDS strategy on ending AIDS, but also nationally, when we look at our data, when we look at how HIV and AIDS is impacting our population, the trends show that the young people, especially adolescent girls, young boys and women, are bearing the brunt of the epidemic.
The symposium comes at a time when the country is still registering about 54,000 new infections annually, mostly the youth. Experts point to the 2020-2021 COVID-19 lockdown and poverty as the major factors for the increase in infections.
Our culture is such that the girl child is disadvantaged from the very start, from access to health, and then because of that, there's also for them negotiating for safe sex. The available methodologies, the male condom is the most predominantly available tool, which puts the power in the hands of the man. The man has the money, he's paying for the sex, so you can see where it puts you if you're on the other side.
The symposium is to be held in partnership with Vision Group. The Executive Director, Vision Group, Don Wanyama, says that the spirit of the symposium will concretize the target of ending HIV AIDS as a public health threat in the country by 2030.
We are also important as the media because we help people make informed choices and we facilitate behavior change. And this is very critical, especially if we're going to fight or prevent the new infections. You've heard Mr. Mbangizi talk about 54,000 new cases annually of HIV AIDS, and this is a figure that must worry us.
The chairperson Parliamentary Committee on HIV AIDS, Sarah Netalisli, applauded religious and cultural leaders for their noble role in sensitizing the public about HIV AIDS. Joanita Kawalia represented the artists who will be performing the Fili Bongole Lutaya songs at the symposium. Every year, Uganda AIDS Commission conducts the annual Joint AIDS Review, bringing together different stakeholders from the academia, development partners, performing artists, the media, religious and cultural leaders. Mutonyi Helda, UBC.
MTN joins the people of Keralur to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Keralur, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Raoni III in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Keralur in promoting social cultural programs of the Ubim.
Walego Mugisa ni Ubimu ku Keralur.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Multi Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone, the most affordable smartphone in Uganda. You get to enjoy free 1 GB for 1 whole year. My Airtel 4G smartphone, your best value for money. Visit the nearest Airtel outlet today and get one at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. Airtel, the smartphone network.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a specialized quasi-judicial body established under Section 93 of the Electricity Act to handle all civil cause disputes relating, but not limited to, regulatory disputes, billing and licensing, tariffs, power generation, transmission and distribution issues, compensation resulting from activities in the electricity sector, including civil wrongs and breaches of statutory and contractual duties and consumer-related complaints. The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a special court and the first instance court that deals with electricity matters in the country. For more information, please contact the Electricity Disputes Tribunal at Amber House, Kampala Road, opposite Post Office, or call us on 041 23 2987.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165*77# or use the Momo app to register.
Welcome back from that break, and this is our first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. My name is Rukidi Kiijannangoma, and a warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Now, police at Parliament has arrested 5 men identified to be coffee nursery bed operators. The arrested suspects were peacefully demonstrating against the government's delay to pay them after they were contracted to supply coffee seedlings in Gomba district. Meanwhile, the opposition at Parliament has reacted at President Mseve's comments on the Vinci coffee deal, as we hear in this report.
abagamba nti balima mmwanyi okubadde area The arrested included Elias Sekaja and Ronald Serunjoji. These and 3 others had stormed Parliament carrying placards demonstrating against government's delay to pay them after they were contracted to supply coffee seedlings in Gomba district. Sekaja and colleagues, under their umbrella body, Nursery Bed Operators Gomba, claim to demand more than 1 billion Uganda shillings.
Twagala kulaba honorable speaker batuyambe ne president Museveni twasapulayinga emwanyi zaffe mu mwaka gwa 2019 ekitongole kya UCDA kiganye tusasule emwanyi sente zaffe tetwasapulanya tubanja biliyoni nyingi.
Meanwhile, the opposition at Parliament have voted to reverse the Vinch coffee deal, although President Museveni says that he will make sure the coffee deal goes through.
We are not opposed to value addition. We should be very clear on that one. We are not opposed to value addition. We are opposed to who is doing it and how is doing it. Is he following the law or not?
Opposition members of Parliament, led by Metiana South MP Richard Irumo, say that they will hold against President's words on the Vinch coffee deal, which they say will give Enrica Pinetti monopoly over Uganda coffee. They want Parliament resolution to halt the coffee agreement respected.
But we are also here very determined to battle anybody who wants to deal with the coffee and without following the law. The Constitution of Uganda is very clear. You cannot establish a monopoly here.
For the Ministry of Finance to bring the Treasury Memorandum to see those resolutions, we want to understand. We do not want anyone to change what Parliament has decided. We already have information that they want to say, oh, the Parliament said there should be a review of the deal. No. We said cancellation of that deal.
Shamim Naiga and Gloria Gutabenji, Parliament.
Now, a leading biodigester manufacturing company, Systema Bio, has launched a carbon biodigester program in partnership with Native Energy. The program is expected to benefit small and medium dairy farmers across the country and reduce carbon emissions. Systema Bio Chief Executive Officer Alexander Easton disclosed this at a press briefing held at Golden Tulip Hotel here in Kampala. Take a watch.
Central Region, Mount Elgon area and southwestern Uganda are to benefit from carbon biodigester program expected to benefit small and medium dairy farmers across the country.
That today, as the largest biogas company in Africa, we are launching our most ambitious carbon program here in Uganda. It will be our largest program ever, and we are going to reach the entire country. We're looking to open with partners in 3 regions to start with, in the West, East, and Central. And we are making a 10-year initial commitment to invest in biogas technology, bring this technology to farmers all over the country.
Systema Bio Chief Executive Officer Alexander Easton says the initiative seeks to create value from waste using biogas.
We're taking poop, waste, shit, dung, whatever you want to call it, which is something that in this time of scarcity, farmers still have a lot of. And we're able to add that very easily, just like when farmers are cleaning the animal pens, instead of piling it in a pit behind their house, they just add it to the digester system.
EcoSafe, a local biogas enterprise that touches local farmers in relation to Systema Bio, believes in empowering an economically and ecologically free disastrous nation.
I mean, to be economically safe, one must be ecologically safe. I don't need to say much about how ecological safety ensures economic safety. Our colleagues from East and others from West in Kasese areas have got a bad experience.
According to the partnership manager, Joel Watoni, a systematic implementation of the late strategy will promote the Biodigester program among local farmers.
We are targeting 10,000 households in the next 3 years. And this will be done in 3 regions. That is the Eastern region, the Western region, and the Central region. How shall we do this in these regions? In the East, we have signed an agreement with one of our key partners, that is the Bay Farmers Circle.
Kabuya Musa, Jerome Omara for UBC News.
Now, news just in. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has mourned 96-year-old former presidential advisor Canon James Rweteega of Kazo district. In his message delivered by the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, Mr. Museveni described Mzee Rweteega as a person who loved and treasured his culture. Museveni also described the late Mzee Rweteega as a great source of information given his participation in the writing of Rweteega Dictionary. He thanked the widow of the deceased, Betty Rweteega, for taking good care of Mzee Rweteega until his death. In attendance were the former Minister for Works and Transport, John Nasasira, and the retired Bishop of Ankoli, John Muhanguzi, who asked mourners never to be desperate in life, but rather accept Jesus Christ. Mzee Rweteega has been laid to rest in Kamugongo village, Kazo Town Castle, Kazo district.
Uganda, who loved and treasured his culture. Our Bantu dialects and other African languages are richer than the European languages. Unfortunately, most of these dialects were not written down. With limited writing and with our elders dying, I got very worried that we may lose these languages. I, together with some linguists from Makerere University, we decided to write the Lazarus of Runyankore Rweteega, Katondozi y'Orunyankore Rweteega. Mzee Rweteega was a great source of information. We thank you for giving your husband support and for raising good children. May Mzee Rweteega's soul rest in peace.
And I want to really affirm to you, Ivan, that Mr. Rweteega is in a better place. This world is not our home. We're just passing through. And I think he fought his battle on this earth. He opened his house. He was very friendly from the testimonies that we had.
Now to courts of law, where city lawyer and human rights activist Stephen Kaladi has petitioned the Constitutional Court seeking for a permanent injunction restraining the Attorney General and his agents from further enforcing the impugned provisions of the bail guidelines that were issued by the Chief Justice in July 2022. In doing so, Kaladi says the constitutional bail guidelines for courts of judicature 2022 are a clear abuse of administrative powers of the Chief Justice.
On 27th July 2022, Judiciary launched various laws and guidelines that include bail guidelines, amicus curiae, and the bailiff laws, other function which was graced by the Chief Justice Alfonso Wunyidolo. City lawyer Stephen Kalali has petitioned the Constitutional Court challenging the guidelines and rules, saying the procedure leading to their formation were not in line with the Constitution.
For lack of sufficient public participation, there was no sufficient public consultation or participation before the Chief Justice issued the impugned guidelines.
With the bail guidelines giving magistrates and judges an ultimate time of 30 days in which to hear bail application, infringes on the human rights.
This is in essence that he tries to make provisions in regard to mandatory bail in capital offences and vesting them typically to the High Court, that is the only one that has jurisdiction to release any suspect who has spent over 180 days on remand.
Stephen Kalali now wants court to declare that it was illegal for the Chief Justice Alfonso Wunyidolo to issue such directives and guidelines.
So the Chief Justice comes up with the guidelines that are restricting or vesting the powers to High Court, thereby trying to amend the constitutional provision of Article 23, 6 Clause C. This is clearly a mandate of Parliament pursuant to Article 79, 1, 2, and 91.
Meanwhile, the International War Crimes Division Court has set 8th November 2022 for the 49 accused persons to apply for bail in the case where Mzee of Rwenzururu Charles Wesley Mumbele are facing charges of terrorism, murder, attempted murder, aggravated robbery, among others. This follows the defense legal team attempt to apply for bail. However, due to lack of some necessary requirements by this court, this was impossible.
We have a medical report. We have a medical report from prison, but to our closer scrutiny of the medical report, it didn't specify each suspect with what type of ailment. So we need to rectify that. That means we have to go back to prison and we work on that one.
Mzee Charles Wesley Mumbele and his 200 subjects are on trial on charges of treason, murder, aggravated robbery and terrorism. The side offences prosecution alleges that were committed in Kasese district in 2016. Deborah Nama Monde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
The Democratic Party National Executive has appointed its National Party Vice President, Mubende, as its acting legal advisor. Now, this follows the suspension of Luyimba Zinalukola and his deputy, Richard Lumo, who have been holding the portfolio. The party spokesman, Enoch Opio, together with the party press secretary, Fred Mwesigwa, communicated their resolution to journalists this morning, arising out of the party's 12th sitting held at Hot Springs Villas Hotel, DJ in Wakisu district.
Further noted with concern the actions of the legal advisor and the deputy that were contrary to the exercise of functions of their office and that have had the effect of disrupting, most importantly, the functioning of the party. National Executive Committee therefore resolved that, among others, A, the President General exercises the powers of his office laid out in the party constitution to ensure that all members of the National Executive Committee carry out their functions, and particularly the National Legal Advisor and the Deputy. Should they fail to meet the President's directive, they should be referred to the National Executive Committee, sitting as the disciplinary committee. B, the President General makes administrative arrangements to assign the National Vice President, the Honorable Fred Kasambi, the power to undertake the requisite actions to protect the party's interest in respect of legal proceedings.
So that nonsense must stop. I'm very sorry to be angry a bit, but
The quarantine DPS is something which everybody can come and talk about. So these are the resolutions will be through pain will be resolved. We have resolved to talk about it, which is not common. You know it very well. But we wanted to shame those irresponsible people within the party.
It is 16 minutes to the hour of 9 in the studios of UBC TV. We'll take yet another break and return with the latest in business.
Stay connected on the largest 4G network in Uganda using the Airtel 4G Pocket MiFi at only 75,000 Uganda shillings. It comes with 15 GBs free, valid for a month. You can connect up to 10 of your friends and family at a go. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get one today or call 0800 333 330 for free delivery within Kampala. Dial *175 *9# to activate free 15 GBs. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Multi Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Did you know that a cashless, secure, and convenient lifestyle is possible with Airtel Money Pay? Pay for your goods and services in the following simple steps. Dial *185 *9#. Enter the merchant ID. Enter the amount. Enter payment reference, for example, school items. Please enter PIN to confirm. You will receive a confirmation message for a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
MTN joins the people of Kerala to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Kerala, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Rauni III in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Kerala in promoting social cultural programs of the UBIM.
Walego Mugisa ni UBIMu ku Kerala.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
Welcome back. Now let's have a look at the latest in business. Kalangala district leaders have requested the Ministry of Works and Transport to create more ferry routes and allow ferries to start operating at night. They were inspecting the servicing works of MV Pearl at Port Bell in Rweteega, which is nearing completion.
Kalangala has 84 islands with only 3 major ferries plying the Bugala Island, hence there is need for more transport means to cater for the rest of the islands. The district is now struggling with the late-night transport challenges, especially for medical emergencies, as all major public marine vessels operate during day. Bujumba County Legislator Julius Mukasa Opondo says Kalangala has a problem of inconsistent transportation of goods.
To close. So I just want to thank the government for this service. At least we are somehow well connected. There is that connectivity between Iruku and Bukakata. Though we need some improvements and we need the additional trips during daytime and during night time. We need also to move at night.
Members of Parliament representing Kalangala district requested the Ministry of Works and Transport to make all the available ferries functional.
Because the schedule is the ferries stop working at 6. And our people have challenges. For example, they want to move their goods. We have emergency cases. We have pregnant mothers who want to go give birth, and they have been referred to Masaka Regional Referral Hospital or Entebbe. They cannot, move well.
Ferries elsewhere work at night. We have been showed these services. They have been repaired. They are able now. The lighting is okay, and the technology can enable these ferries to work at night. Let us open up. Let these ferries work at night.
During the inspection of servicing works of the ferry, Captain Geoffrey Aisije assured the members of Parliament that the marine vessels have all necessary technology required to sail at night.
Generators ziri okay. Twakebedde wansi walungi akaranja kabadde kavuddeyo ne tukongerayo.
Public Relations Officer Kalangala Infrastructure Services Limited says they are committed to extend all services to the island communities if government avail them an opportunity.
The population has increased. Traffic is increasing day by day because people are demanding for extra trips. And of course, these extra trips, they are supposed to be paid for, but you have to convince the government to pay for them. So it is not easy because, like, for them, in most cases, they consider emergencies. Those are referrals from hospital. But these are extra trips, like when you have traffic, people, they want to cross, they cannot cross. So that is an issue, I think, which is out of our hands. It's in the hands of the local leaders.
By Friday this week, MV Pearl will be ready for operations, and contractors have urged the public to utilize it. Joseph Oko, Sula Kagubuge, UBC.
The Chairman General of the National Organization of Trade Unions, Asha Wilson Owere, is calling on the designated ministries mandated to appoint an NSSF Managing Director and Deputy Managing Director to do so before the contracts of the current serving managers elapse. If not acted upon urgently, the Chairman General envisions a leadership vacuum at NSSF that risks the fund being mismanaged in the hands of unqualified personnel.
As the current NSSF Managing Director's 5-year contract comes to an end this November 2022,
The Chairman General of the National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU, is calling on the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to appoint a Managing Director and Deputy Managing Director to avoid a leadership vacuum in the near future.
We don't want to see a vacuum. A vacuum will create a problem. Our fund is very sensitive. We have seen a number of projects, the Loboa project, the Temangalo project. The pension house is also progressing. So we need NSSF to move at that speed.
First being appointed to the NSSF managerial position in 2010, Richard Byarugaba was reappointed as NSSF MD in 2014. His contract was then renewed by Minister of Finance Matia Kasaija, effective December 1st, 2017.
Our worry is there's already a movement, which I may not reveal to you. There's already a movement which we see, which is going to bring problems. Because as we talk now, the MD's contract is not there, the other one, the deputy also, and that's already a vacuum.
In the financial year 2020-2021, NSSF's income grew from 1.4 trillion shillings to 1.8 trillion shillings. And in 2018, under Richard Byarugaba's tenure as Managing Director, the fund disbursed a 15% interest payout, the highest recorded in the last 10 years. Wadulo Makanold, UBC News, in Kampala.
We'll now take a break and return with the latest in sports. Let's have a go at sports news now. And International Olympic Committee member William Blake has advised proper parenting and guidance if Uganda's sports sector is to benefit from the core unit that a family represents. Blake was at the Excel Junior Academy Football Gala at Kampala Quality School that attracted close to 100 players from whom 2 were chosen for an opportunity to showcase their skills in Miami. Blake comes from a sporting family that has previously ventured prominently in almost all other disciplines but football, into which he has now attracted his daughter, Clara Blake.
But this week, I think you've seen the skills being exhibited by all kids. I think it's important to give them a platform for them to be able to express their talent. Unfortunately, we don't have enough of these tournaments in Uganda at the under 12, under 13 level. So we hope that this tournament, the first one this year, can be able to have more teams, hosting teams, and for more tournaments to be played, because this is where the talent should be spotted. And it enters into the feeder system. So it's a very good attempt by Excel Academy. They invited a big number of teams, but not so many turned up for the various reasons, I think because it was a week late. Nevertheless, it's a good start, and we'll continue doing this to ensure that we try to promote young talent.
The State Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, has lauded Ndeje University for flying Uganda's flag high in national, regional and international university sports competitions. Minister Ogwang was on a working visit to Ndeje University main campus in Luweero district to assess the university's readiness towards the 12th edition of the Eastern Africa University Games, slated to take place from the 16th to the 22nd of December this year. John Bansentamu gives us more.
After a guided tour of the sports and housing facilities, Minister Peter Ogwang realized that Ndeje University is behind schedule and needs government support in its bid to host the 12th East Africa University Games.
Already what's crucial is to have $1 million at hand, which money Professor one pledge you will have with the President, that you will have that money, I'm sure this week. After here, I'm going to get to have a meeting with the Minister, that's why I'm rushing. To again remind now with the Permanent Secretary how far we have gone as far as having this money released. But my knowledge, because of I've been in touch with the PS, that money was meant to come with other monies. The ministry is receiving for this quarter.
Ndeje University Vice Chancellor Professor Eria Bulugujo appreciated government for the support thus far, but calls for express delivery of the rest.
This is the situation. And seeing is believing, as I said. Now that he has seen, he knows the situation, and he has gone to inform the authorities of the state. But we are working very hard to ensure that we hold successful games, and we project. These are not Ndeje University games; they are national games. It is projection of the nation.
National Council of Sports General Secretary Dr. Bernard Patrick Ogwell tasked other universities to copy a leaf from Ndeje's sports example, which has benefited Uganda not only in talent but also infrastructure.
Strategic direction the Ministry of Education and Sports is taking to support not only sport but holistic university education, where academics and sport blend. In terms of contribution, I would not want to mention to detail, but many of our national teams in the past and today have been mentioned here. Besides the scholarships, as mentioned, in terms of volume up to university level, you know how expensive it is. But I think it has been a strategy since I came here. My first appearance was in 2004. I don't know how many of you were here, but in terms of sports infrastructural development, every year I come and see new things happen. And that tells you that this institution should be supported. And I'm a witness to all this that has been said by the Vice Chancellor, by the Sports Director, and the Secretary.
About 4,000 participants from over 70 universities are expected to grace the 12th East Africa University Games that will last 5 days in December and have competition in more than 20 disciplines. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC Tonight.
It is exactly 9 p.m. in the studios of UBC TV, and we finally come to the end of our first edition of UBC TV News Tonight. Thank you so much for having kept us company. Our next bulletin comes your way at 10 p.m. My name is Rukidi Kiijannangoma. See you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
MTN joins the people of Kerala to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Kerala, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Rauni III, in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Kerala in promoting social cultural programs of the Ubim.
Walego Mugisa ni Ubimu ku Kerala.
Simply sensational, and it might be enough to take them through.
Every winner is always